Ladies and gentlemen, the WWE Universe witnessed a moment that sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. On the August 14th edition of Friday Night SmackDown, the atmosphere inside the arena changed in an instant, as one of the biggest names in sports entertainment made his long-awaited return. Just when it seemed like the Bloodline saga had entered a new chapter, everything was turned upside down by the arrival of the final boss himself, The Rock. For weeks, the Bloodline story has been filled with tension, betrayal, and uncertainty. Roman Reigns had regained control of his empire, but cracks were still visible beneath the surface. Solo Sikoa had refused to fully fall in line, creating division within the family. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso found themselves caught between loyalty to their tribal chief and the growing conflict surrounding Solo. The family was far from united, and everyone knew something had to give. That tension reached its breaking point on Monday Night Raw when Jey Uso challenged Solo Sikoa in a high-stakes match. The consequences were enormous. If Solo lost, he would be forced back under Roman Reigns' authority. The match was intense, emotional, and filled with family drama. In the end, interference from Jimmy Uso helped Jey secure the victory, and Solo's fate was sealed. He was officially heading back into the Bloodline. Many fans believed that was the end of the story. The Bloodline appeared whole again. Roman Reigns was still the World Heavyweight Champion. Jey and Jimmy had completed their mission. Solo had been brought back into the fold. Everything seemed to be moving exactly according to Roman Reigns' plan. But then SmackDown happened. As the Usos stood proudly inside the ring, celebrating the restoration of family unity, nobody expected what was about to occur. The crowd was loud, the energy was electric, and the Usos were soaking in the moment. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The lights flickered throughout the arena. The crowd sensed something unusual was happening. Then it happened. The unmistakable music of The Rock blasted through the speakers. The reaction was immediate. Thousands of fans erupted to their feet. The arena exploded with excitement as the final boss walked onto the stage. After months away from WWE television, The Rock was finally back. Every camera in the building turned toward the entrance ramp. Every fan was on their feet. The Rock stood there with his signature confidence, taking in the moment before making his way toward the ring. The Usos looked stunned. The WWE Universe looked stunned. And perhaps somewhere backstage, Roman Reigns was stunned too. The Rock entered the ring and stood alongside Jimmy and Jey Uso. It was a powerful visual. Three members of one of the most famous wrestling families in history standing together under the bright lights of SmackDown. But the biggest question immediately became obvious. Why was The Rock here? Was he returning to support Roman Reigns and strengthen the Bloodline even further? Or was he returning because he believes the family needs new leadership? That's the question now hanging over WWE. The relationship between Roman Reigns and The Rock has always been complicated. Both men are icons. Both men have claimed positions of authority within the family. Both men have carried the weight of the Bloodline legacy on their shoulders. While they have stood together before, there has always been an underlying question about who truly sits at the head of the table. Now that question feels more important than ever. The Rock's return instantly changes the balance of power. Roman Reigns has spent years building his dominance. He has demanded acknowledgement from everyone around him. He has ruled WWE as the tribal chief, but The Rock is not just another family member. He is one of the biggest stars in the history of the industry. His presence alone changes everything. Fans have already begun speculating about what happens next. Could The Rock be preparing to support Roman Reigns against future threats? Could he be returning to unite the family against outside enemies? Or could he have his eyes set on something much bigger? The possibility of a future confrontation between Roman Reigns and The Rock immediately became one of the most talked-about topics in wrestling. Imagine the tension. Imagine the promos. Imagine two generations of Bloodline leadership standing face to face, each believing they are the true leader of the family. That is the kind of story that could define WWE heading into the biggest events of the year. One thing is certain. The Bloodline story has entered another fascinating chapter. What looked like a simple family reunion has suddenly become far more complicated. The return of The Rock adds a level of unpredictability that WWE has not seen in months. The final boss is back. Roman Reigns is still the tribal chief, and the future of the Bloodline has never been more uncertain. The question now is simple. Is The Rock returning to strengthen Roman Reigns' empire, or is he returning to take control of it? The WWE Universe will be watching closely because whatever happens next could change the Bloodline forever. And if history has taught us anything, whenever The Rock arrives, nothing stays the same for long.